All right, let's dive right in. We're going to tackle a huge topic for any product team that wants to make it in Latin America, and that's the super complex world of payments. Seriously, if you're building anything for this region, this is the playbook you need to hear.
So it all comes down to this one big question, right? How do you actually win at payments in LATAM? How do you build a checkout that people will actually use and trust, one that really truly converts? It sounds simple, but trust me, the answer is anything but.
You've got to think of it like a puzzle. Each country is a totally different piece. They have their own favorite payment methods, their own banking quirks, their own way of doing things. And a one-size-fits-all approach, just throwing up a credit card form, that is a guaranteed recipe for failure. It just won't work.
So instead of getting totally lost in all that complexity, let's just jump straight to the solution. I'm going to give you a super clear 4-point playbook that you can use as your guide for pretty much any market in the region. Okay, here it is. Super simple. Step 1. In every country, find and prioritize the top instant transfer method. These things have the best conversion rates, period. 2. Integrate the one dominant digital wallet. Don't go crazy, just find the top dog. 3. You absolutely have to offer cash alternatives. There's a huge unbanked population you can't ignore. And finally, step 4, where it's a big cultural deal, you've got to offer cards with installment plans. This simple framework, that's your secret weapon.
So that's the theory, but does this playbook actually hold up in the real world? Well, let's find out. We're going to take a quick tour through some of the biggest markets to see how it all plays out on the ground.
First up, the absolute giant of the region, Brazil. This is a market that has completely, and I mean completely, changed its payment game in just a few short years.
And would you look at that, it maps perfectly to our playbook. You've got Pix for instant transfers, you've got Boleto as the go-to cash alternative, you've got cards with their famous parcelas or installments, and of course the big wallets like PicPay and Mercado Pago. See? It checks every single box.
And if you want to understand the scale we're talking about, just look at Pix. This thing was a government project to get more people into the digital economy, and boy, was it a massive success. Over 150 million users. It's not just another way to pay, it's become a cultural phenomenon. Trying to launch in Brazil without Pix, that's a complete non-starter. Okay, let's head over to our next stop, Mexico. Another huge market, but as you're about to see, it has a totally different payment DNA.
Now for instant transfers, Mexico's got SPAY. But the real story here, the one you absolutely need to know, is OXXO Pay. For years and years, a huge chunk of the population just didn't have access to banks. So OXXO, this massive chain of corner stores, became the bridge. They connected e-commerce to the millions of people who still live by cash. This is the perfect example of why those cash alternatives are non-negotiable.
All right, continuing our tour, we land in Colombia. This is a fascinating market where bank transfers and local digital wallets have teamed up to create this really powerful and unique ecosystem.
In Colombia, the king is a method called PSC. It's a super popular bank transfer system with amazing conversion rates. But what's really interesting is that right alongside it, you've got these massive local digital wallets, Nequi and DaviPlata. They become the #1 payment app for millions, basically leapfrogging the old way of banking.
And get this, Nequi alone has over 20 million users. It's just a powerful reminder that the biggest wallet in a country often isn't some global giant. It's a local champion, one that just gets its users and their mobile-first habits.
Our final stop on the tour is Argentina, a market where one single player has become so dominant that it's fundamentally changed how people buy and sell things every single day.
Yeah, in Argentina, the conversation pretty much begins and ends with Mercado Pago. It's the wallet, it's the QR code, it's the processor, it's kind of the whole shebang. If you want to reach the mass market here, integrating Mercado Pago isn't just a good idea, it's practically mandatory.
Okay, so we've done the tour, we've seen the playbook in action. So what's the big picture here? If we zoom out, we can see 3 huge region-wide trends that every single product team needs to have on their radar.
Trend number 1, instant payments are winning big time. Doesn't matter if it's Pix, SPI, or PSC. Users just love that immediate confirmation. And of course, merchants love the higher conversion rates. This is the new gold standard for building trust at checkout.
And trend number 2, for everyday mobile-first life, digital wallets are now way more important than credit cards. I mean, from Mercado Pago's massive regional empire to local heroes like Nequi, these wallets have become the main way people interact with digital commerce.
And the third, and maybe most important trend, never, ever, ever underestimate cash.
The unbanked population is still massive. Methods like OXXO and Boleto aren't just some legacy system. They are the essential bridge to a huge part of your potential customer base.
So when you take the playbook and you look at the countries and you see these trends, it all boils down to one simple, incredibly powerful idea. There's really one golden rule to all of this.
And here it is. Don't try to change how people behave. Don't force them into some payment method they've never heard of or don't trust. You have to meet them where they already are. Let users pay how they already prefer to pay. That's it. That is the secret to higher conversion, less fraud, and actually winning in Latin America. The real question isn't what's convenient for you, it's what's natural for them.